Errtu the Balor. Now I gotta say it, guys. I gotta admit it. Initially, I underestimated this boss. I actually underestimated what we need to do in order to get to 10 million damage. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the first day when we were on stream, it felt much easier to get the damage up. I don't know what happened. I think it just felt like it. I'm sure they haven't changed nothing at all whatsoever, but it just felt for whatever reason a bit easier. And to be frankly honest with you guys, I'm gonna put it out there for you. If you don't have the right things in order, it's going to be very, very hard. And I'm not talking about people that spend tons of money and have all the OP champions, or people that got lucky and managed to summon some awesome, awesome legendaries. I'm talking with the people that might be struggling with the damage on the Temple of Ertu, and you might be either lacking some of the champions, you might not be able to synergize your teams well enough. If your Psychic core, if you don't have the elemental affinity in order, you're gonna struggle even more. Because if you wasted points by going into resistance and going into other things rather than focusing everything to reach to the final stages for your main team, you will definitely struggle a lot because the 5-man elemental affinity is massive. You're getting extra damage, you're getting damage reduction, tons of things that will benefit your team in general. So this will play a very important role in how well your team will do. Second, most of you guys will most probably attempt to do a team with fire and poison. Now, I've tried many variations. I've tried many different combination of elements and stuff like that. I am lacking a couple of epic heroes that could potentially be pretty good. I don't have a lot of them scrolled, which makes a massive difference. So I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know about that as well. But basically, if you don't have Frorbart, you're kind of effed, okay? I'll be very, very honest with you. It feels so hard without Frorbart. Just the utility that he brings. That's why when I made the video on that 99-cent chest, I've told you, the number one champion you should pick out of that should be Frorbart. Everyone else comes after just for the simple fact that he brings so much utility. Garius is amazing, don't get me wrong. Vorish, Dane, Tononen, etc. They're all amazing heroes. But none of them will bring you more utility than a Frorbart in the general content for this season. And I'm telling you that from my personal experience. So basically, I have teams that can reach over 10 million damage, but that's with quite a few legendaries, and it's mainly the Radiance team because it's just completely destroying the opponent. I haven't really tried to do other teams with legendaries to get to 10 million from my account, but I'm definitely positive that Fire Poison I can do that without a problem. And if you're gonna try Frost Necrosis, I'll be very honest with you. This elemental affinity combo for this season kind of sucks. Frost and Necrosis, they don't have very good support, they don't have very good tanks, they don't have very good attack down champions, at least not that I have available. And the next thing is I don't have any of the epics scrolled. And that will make a massive difference because if I'm gonna run a similar team with this, okay, it will be painful. Just for the simple fact that I won't have enough healing, I won't have enough decrease attack either, and that will cost you quite a bit. If you're running a lot of melee heroes, the boss will completely obliterate them, okay? So that's another thing to keep in mind. Range heroes tend to be much better on this boss than in general, you know? Now, of course, positioning will play a very important role, and it really depends what team you're running because you're gonna have to play around with different positions for all of your teams. It really depends what you have. With Frorbart, it's good to have them all in very close proximity for the simple fact that, one, he gives you the healing, right? So that's very, very important. Then when you have healers and different champions that might buff and they have a weirder sort of coverage for your team, you want to make sure you have them in close proximity as well so everybody will benefit out of the healing or buffs or whatever you're using. At the same time, what you need to know is that the boss has 2 minions that are constantly spawning out. And the reason why this boss is a bit harder than the rest is because he cycles his skills much faster, but we're going to discuss about that in a minute. Basically, Glabrezu, which is kind of like the evil scarab sort of thing, he spawns on the top side of the screen, you know, on the right side of the boss. And basically, he will stun your teams and he will move back and forward in between your allies, you know. Then you have Rock the bird, which will spawn on the bottom side. And the whole idea is that if you're running them, for example, like this, you would probably look and be like, well, this makes absolutely no difference. It's just the opposite side. well, it does actually make a lot of a difference because Vrock, the bird, will actually stun Rowena and will stun Frorbart as well because the bird is on the left side, Vrock, you know. And the other one is still gonna go back and forward in between your teammates and just stun them, deal damage on them. But when you're running them on this side, as an example, Vrock the bird will only land the stun on Frorbart. So no one else needs to worry about the stun, which is actually making quite a bit of a difference, which is pretty important. Then if you're running a different team, you can spread them around in different ways. It's definitely not a bad thing whatsoever. So I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind. So as an example, a team like this, I don't think it will reach the 5 million damage. I'll be honest with you. So I feel like the only reason why you would want to break your elemental affinity, a 5-man elemental affinity, if by any chance you have an OP legendary, that you know that it will either bring you a lot of support, a lot of survivability, or it will bring you a lot of damage. The main thing that you want to keep in mind is that it's harder to scroll the epic heroes. So that's the reason why I'm going to go with rares. Now, Sigrid, unfortunately, has a trash build here. She has no damage. If she would have had damage, this would have been a walk in the park. But unfortunately, she doesn't. But at the same time, this will actually work very well as a team. Or you can use Danch if by any chance you don't have Sigrid. But I feel like Eli is way too important for this team because he deals very good damage. He has a very good build for his kit, you know. I wish we would be able to change sets on the champions. You know, like Theodore would be such an amazing option. But unfortunately, look at the build. No crit rate, no nothing, no attack. Recharge speed penalty, attack penalty, stun the side mobs. He would be perfect for this boss. But unfortunately, it doesn't do damage, you know. So, Vikak could be potentially another option instead of Adolphus if you are running Frorbart as a tank. Vikak is great, right? He cleanses, he brings the healing, the attack down. He's just an amazing champion. But it's still going to be fairly hard with him in the team. Much harder than with Adolphus. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. I definitely prefer Adolphus over him. So if you want to book your Adolphus, go on and do it. I've been using Adolphus for so long, probably you've seen many videos where I talked about how powerful he is and how you guys should use him in your Vortex and many other areas because he just rocks, you know. Now right here, I'm going to use the attack aura and I'm going to go with this team. Just check out the difference. It's going to be much smoother to run this team because Frorbart will heal with a passive, will heal with a Nexus in here, and at the same time will put the decreased attack on all of the mobs there, you know, which is definitely very helpful. Good damage from Eli coming in there. So this team will reach 5+ million. Okay, I feel like with very good luck, you can get close to 10. You might hit 10. But if you really want to hit 10, I feel like you need a better damage dealer instead of Sigrid. So either you're running one of the epics that I've told you, like Horus, right? Like, I know they changed his name, the Poisoner. I'm not talking about the epic tank from the fire element. Or you can run, for example, Corvin instead of her. But they need to be scrolled, guys. If they're not scrolled, they won't be doing great damage. So that will actually make your run more difficult. If you don't have Sigrid, how I mentioned, which I assume you should have her if you reach that far in the game, because hey, three battle passes, you get her for free, you know, just without even trying. You can then use Danch as an option. You can get to 5 million with him as well, but it will be a bit harder and you will have to prioritize his AoE every now and then to make sure it goes on the boss, rather than to go here in the center, because he does that as well, you know. And then I'll show you the team that I'm running, what a difference it is with the Radiance element, and I'm going to show you the positioning for that, and just to have a lot of range heroes, you know. And yes, there are some legendaries in there too. So far, we are at 2 million damage. Eli is the main DPS champion in here, 67%. I'm telling you guys, if Sigrid would have had a regular damage build, this would have been a walk in the park, okay? Because you are going to get a lot of damage. You are going to get pretty much the same damage you're getting from Eli. So just double that damage, and you're going to get to the result that you would have had with Sigrid, you know? And I feel like it would have definitely taken you to the 10 million fairly easy. If we were able to put a stun set. But then it's kind of like contradicting what what they're doing here. I do like the idea of having the champions pre-built and leveled up, and we don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, I would like to have a bit of flexibility in the whole process. Either change the sets that they have equipped while we're keeping the same stats. Either maybe equip a sort of an artifact on them. Like, let us have something. If you would have a defense down on the boss, it would help a lot. Things like this would definitely make a massive difference on here, you know? You see right now, we dispelled the debuff with Furbart's passive on Eli. He survived. And the exact same thing before he died because Isolde, she cannot do what Furbart does, you know? So it's a massive difference. And it's going to be hard for you guys if you don't have Furbart. I'll be honest. Initially, I didn't thought that it would be that hard without him. I really didn't expected it, you know? It's just because they're rotating their skills so fast. You see, we cannot keep up with our skills at all because they're always overlapping us with the skills over and over and over again. The good part is that the back minion, the one that's attacking our nukers and our healer, is constantly moving up and down from our champions, so he's not really killing them. He's getting them pretty low, you know, and it can put them in a bad spot. That's kind of like what happens towards the end. That's how we're actually dying. But it's not as dangerous, you know. The boss is slowly stacking a lot of increased attack. You see total damage bonus, 20%. The more he's getting, the more damage he's basically going to stack up on himself. And whenever he puts the attack up on the minions, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to survive for a long time, you know? Especially if you don't have your elemental affinity bonus as a 5-man maxed on poison and fire, where you have 15% damage reduction and the extra damage, you know? It's not going to happen. And especially if you don't have your hero scrolled, that makes a massive, massive difference. So your damage will drop substantially. I just wanted to be honest with you guys and make you aware of what's basically expecting you in here, you know? Because I know yesterday when I kind of made the video with warning, don't summon everything yet, just wait, collect all the Hunter's Blades, see how many you can get for free before you summon. I said everybody should have a pretty easy team to reach. It's not that hard to reach 5-10 million damage, but it kind of is if you don't have the right champions, you know? It kind of is if you don't have the right champions. So we are at 6 million damage, you see? Right now we have Eli with 4 million damage. Oh, I mentioned again, because I'm going to say it probably for the 100th time. If Sigrid would have had the damage build, she would have equaled him in damage, maybe even out-damage him as an option. So that would have put us in a much better position with our damage. 100%. We wouldn't have been in this issue that we are right now. And you see the increased attack on the minions, it will kill our Eli right now. I feel like he's dead mid. Oh, we got so lucky with that dispel and with the shield after. What a clutch right there from Adolphus and Furbart's passive. Absolutely insane. Very, very good clutch. Having that attack down as well from Sigrid helps quite a bit. Quite a bit. I feel like we are going to lose somebody. Okay, we're lucky. We're lucky. We're not losing nobody. 7.1 million damage. So, how you may notice, with luck, you will get better damage. With a better champion than Sigrid at the back that deals damage too, you will get to 10 million most probably. Furbart is dead. There we go. We didn't have attack down on the boss because he's rotating the skills so freaking fast. If you would manual and pay attention when Furbart is using the skill, when Sigrid is using the skill to land the decrease attack, you would survive longer. 100%. So you do need to put a bit of work in here to manual some of the things to make sure that you're spot on and you spread the decrease attack. That can be very, very helpful. So this is one option as a team, guys. I know probably you've seen around the same thing from the creators, from other creators, because unfortunately we don't have many options. Unfortunately, we don't have many options, you know. And yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, you guys listen to my advice when I've told you to get Furbart, because he is just a game changer. Now let me show you if I'm running a Radiance team, which is my main team, will be completely different. How I mentioned, if I'm putting in a few legendaries, I'm gonna get to 10 million. I'm not struggling to reach damage. Okay, but I don't want to use legendaries because I don't know what champions you guys have available. And how I mentioned, I want to reduce the amount of epic champions that I'm using too. And I don't have many of them scrolled either. But if we're going to go with my Radiance teams, you see, so we have 3 legendary champions. That's straight off the back what I'll be using. They are not fully scrolled, but they are pretty close to being fully scrolled. Then we have Gyarius. Then on top of Gyarius, we're going to bring Yola, Lolita, however you guys want to call her, okay? The positioning of this team as well is fairly important, guys. You want to make sure you have them positioned like this because if no, the Scarab or Demon, whatever he is, will actually mess up some of your heroes. You don't want them to get damaged, so he's going to come straight at Lorantil, okay? He's going to stun Lorantil first, then he's going to move at to Yola, deal a bit of damage on her, then he's going to go all the way to Huberg and drop another stun on him. While the bird will constantly focus Gyarius. We will use the defense aura in here. And basically, we have Lorantil putting rally on our team. We have Yola putting decrease attack, stunning the minions, and that will keep them at the front more often. Gyarius, of course, with the healing, tanking, and then we have Huberg with the AoE damage. At the moment, we're not one-shotting the minions, but once we're going to stack the damage on his ultimate, we are going to one-shot those minions, okay? For the moment, Elton will come in and do a bit of a cleanup with his own ultimate, which is fine, you know? So that one is going to move all the way at the back. You see, it stunned our Lorantil. So that messed up a bit our rally there, which is fine. Because right now, he's going to go to Yola in a second. And then he's going to go to Huberg. And when he's going to Huberg, Yola is going to use the ultimate and he's going to stun both of them. And that will keep them in place. And then for the next time, when Huberg is going to take his turn, he's going to target all 3 of them with the AoE. And he might not instantly kill them, but he will get very, very close to kill them. So check this out. It's like seeing the future. Look at that, you see? And Elton just cleaned him up. So that's how it's always working if you're positioning your heroes in the way I did, okay? Then, from here on, we should slowly start to basically one-shot them. So Yola dropped the stun. They're not going to move from there, even if they have their ultimate ready. Then we have Huber coming in with the AoE. Elton cleaning up the other minion. You see, they just spawn back again. Yola, she's about to get pretty close to pump her ultimate again, which will stun the side minions another time. There you go. Stun or silence them, one or the other. But in the meantime, the rest will actually start popping damage. There you go. Another ultimate from Huberg and just completely melted them. And that's how this run is going to go all the way till the end. We are currently on 5.8 million damage. We have 6 stacks of attack. Huberg is already at 3.1. We have Elton with 1.3. And then we have Lorantil with 1 million damage. Now, if you would put Frorbart in here as a tank, he will not survive this, okay? Elton will do the cleanup here with the battle skill, most probably. Or Lorantil on that side minion. Because he didn't got hit enough to die, basically. So there you go. The stun procs in beautiful. 7 million damage so far. Rally, and then the rest are coming in and one-shotting them again. Look at that. Beautiful, you see. Just very, very clean. Now, if you have a team like this, yes, it's definitely not that hard to get the 10 million. But how you've noticed with the other teams, especially if we're not using many epics, if we're not using unscrolled epics, we're basically kind of like struggling, you know? We're struggling to get the job done. And it does make quite a bit of a difference to chuck in a good legendary if you have that. So hopefully this video helped you in a way or another, guys, at least to inspire you with some different things. At least you maybe learned a couple of things about positioning. Maybe you learned a couple of things of what sort of mechanics you need to use against the boss, you know? Decrease attack is very, very important. But one champion, I feel like, is just not going to be enough if you're planning to just survive the hit from all of the enemies there. And if you have some different team that cannot one-shot the side minions. Thankfully for me, lucky I can one-shot them. Like Huberg is just completely destroying them. When we have Rally, they have no chance at surviving. You see, they're just spawning, going down. And that makes the entire run much easier. Not only in terms of keeping the tank alive and keeping the rest of the team alive, but just by spraying the damage, because all the rest can focus on the boss constantly, you know. And I only have one decrease attack champion, so it's not like I'm relying on many others, you know. And bang, 13 million damage. It definitely ramps up quite a bit. I feel the highest damage that I got with this team, I think, was 19 million damage. Yeah, 19 million. But the scrolls, man, the elemental affinity plays such an important role, guys. You need to keep this in mind. Whenever you're attempting to do a team, keep that in mind as well. I wish they would have made them all fully scrolled, considering what stats they put on some of them. At least make them all to be fully scrolled. That might make a bit of a difference and help some people out, you know. 15 million. Gyarius still staying strong there. Love those stuns in there. Beautiful. Laurentil put a rally up. Beautiful. Increase attack and I'll just bang them down. Spawning again. Spawning again. The boss rotates so fast, man. Look at that. Look how quickly he's spawning them back. I feel like Gyarius is going down now. I feel like Gyarius is going down. Not, yep. There we go. And we stop here, basically. Because after, the minions will come towards the back. And it's game over. We can one-shot these ones. But not the following ones. Because they will slowly kill everybody. Lots of damage, you know. Look at that. Cuberg, the only one left. And he's about to get destroyed. But this makes quite a bit of a difference. 17.8 million damage. Now, for the next few days, guys, I will definitely look into a few different combinations of champions. I find it extremely hard for the Frost and the Necrosis elements to get very good teams, very good damage. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but I find it very hard for it to work easy, to work good, you know. That was all for the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any different team that might help some other of you guys from the community. Let us know in the comments down below, of course, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.